In the last episode on the health series, a doctor with over 30 years of experience posted two questions in the comment section. On looking at those questions, I felt these are questions which could be in the minds of other viewers too. So, in today's episode, I am going to ask Arun these two questions directly. Let's see what he has to say. Let's jump into the show. Hi, Arun. Welcome once again to my show.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Arun Prabhu once again to our show. Arun, in the last episode on the health series, you had shared 10 actions that we can take to live a healthy life, right? One of the practicing doctors from US, he had posted two questions. And those questions seem to be pretty relevant and probably in the minds of other viewers too. Therefore, what I thought is, let's dedicate this episode just to answering those two questions. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely okay. I'm absolutely fine with all the questions because I would rather request people to ask more and more questions. Good.
Perfect. Thank you. The first question that he had raised is this: Arun and Vasu, do either of you have any medical education? His intent behind this question is probably how are we sharing medical healing practices without having a professional medical degree or a medical background? This is the first question. The other question he asked is, are there any studies to support what you are saying? What would be your response to these questions, Arun? Over to you.
First of all, these are very good and relevant questions, taking the perspective of where it is coming from. See, when we talk about a doctor asking these questions, so obviously I understand because he is practicing what he has been taught. But let me first ask him or anybody from the audience that all the practices which we discussed or described, are they something new or invented by me or discovered by me? No. They were all the general practices which were a part of our health system since ages. And when we talk about any medical research being done, the life itself is a research. So these practices, what are the 10 key practices which we discussed, they are all basic practices. And these are the practices which I have been doing in myself, and I've studied people doing those. And anybody will vouch for that these 10 practices, if they do diligently, the chances of them getting sick or contracting a disease is very less. There are so many people around which you can see them. Now, when we talk about research, my question to him is, who is doing this research? So I would ask like you to represent the audience and say, okay, when we talk about are there any studies being done? Now, who or which organization and why these studies are being done? I would like to know.
Yeah, I think there are many companies, people. I've heard about Bill Gates talking about vaccines. And then I think even Rockefeller, if I'm not sure, but Rockefeller also. And these studies basically they do some. What my understanding is that they do take some sample of the population and do the research and then say that okay, this is the levels of blood pressure or whatever, and they say this is what you have to maintain it, and that's my understanding.
Perfect.
I don't know.
No, absolutely. So what is the intent of these companies who are doing this research? Do they want people to know the right things, or do they want people to know what they want to tell?
My understanding, their intent would be genuine, where they want to share things and do good for humanity. That's my understanding. And if these
Absolutely.
big people are there, and obviously when they're doing it, the intent would be to improve our health and longevity and reduce diseases, etc. That's my understanding.
Perfect. So who's funding these? Because obviously when we do research, we need some funds. So they will be asking for the funds. So which companies would be funding these researchers which say, okay, for example, let me take a case of diabetes. Now, diabetes, we know that it happens when body stops producing insulin. This is a basic layman language. Fine. Now, there are two types of researches which can be done. Number one, can we cure diabetes? When I say cure means elimination of the disease.
Right.
Now, since I don't know, since last 40, 50, 60 years, a lot of research is being done on diabetes, but diabetes is increasing. And I haven't found anyone who the doctors prescribe any medicine for diabetes, and after 2 years or 2 months, 2 years, 3 years, 6 years, he stopped eating medicines. So my question is this: if so much funding is being given for development of new insulin, and why is it that new insulin is being developed every couple of years, when one insulin can, one brand and one thing can cure diabetes? Why there are so many brands? Number one. Number two, why there is no research on improving your insulin production rather than supplying insulin?
I tend to agree with you. What you're saying is, I have hardly seen somebody who starts off on medication, typically for diabetes. They say, last 15 years से मैं ये दवाई खा रहा हूँ. It's that means where you're coming from is that if there is the medicine is there, invented or created, once you take the medicine, as you said, it could be maybe 6 months, it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years. After that, you have to stop it. But that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. Which means the intent of the research was not to eradicate diabetes, but to control diabetes.
Okay.
So which means whatever the researchers you are talking about, they are not for either for the information or for improvement of the health. It is management of the health.
Right.
How can you rely on a research which is managing your health and not improving your health? So the point what I want to say is, any doctor, when he says, I have had 30 years of experience, I want to ask that doctor two things. Number one, which disease did you cure? What is your personal input in curing that disease, apart from prescribing the medicine which was told to you by a medical representative who's just a BA, who doesn't even know he has zero knowledge about health, no practical this thing, and that medical representative is a representative of a pharmaceutical company whose business model is selling the medicine. Yes. So I would like to ask the doctors, in the last 30 years, what is your personal because 30 years is huge amount of time.
Right.
I haven't spent that much time on my health also. I say I have been researching on this for the last 15, 20 years, max 20 years. And still I'm learning. But I know I have cured so many diseases of myself. I'm not talking about anyone else. So my question is, when we say scientific studies, the point one is, there is no scientific study which is unbiased. And all unbiased scientific studies are not in the public domain. For example, I'll give you a very good example. We use in management, which is called the Roger-Bannister effect. So what is the Roger-Bannister effect? The Roger-Bannister effect is this, that prior to 1950s, a runner running a mile within 4 minutes was physically, psychologically, physiologically impossible, because it was said that if you try to run 4 minutes, this mile under 4 minutes, your blood pressure, your heart rate will increase to such an extent that either your heart will fail or you will have brain hemorrhage. Fine. Now there comes a person named Roger Bannister, who's a junior doctor. He's a doctor by himself, and he plans to, challenge this. Though he was a racer, he was also participating in races, but he still couldn't think of breaking this. And one day he said, let me try. And he trained himself. And do you know, he was the first person who broke this 4-mile record, which is less than 0.6 seconds. He did it in 3 minutes 59 seconds, 0.4 microsecond. Right. So only 0.6 second, not even 1 second. Not even 1 second, 0.6 second, he broke it. But that created such a magical effect that his record couldn't stand more than, I think so, 46 days. Right. Couldn't stand. Within 46 days, someone else broke even his record. What's the point which I want to make? That once a barrier is broken, the research, everything goes haywire. Now, the best part of this is 1954, in the last 72 years, more than, I think so, somewhere around 1700 plus racers have broken this record and none of them have died. And let me tell you, Roger Bannister broke this record at age 26, died at age 89. He survived 75 years of, 65 years post breaking the record. Now, where is that research gone? The point which I want to make is, let's not get constipated with research and studies, because these are all done on laboratories, on mice, on animals, torturing them. But animals don't have one thing which is called the willpower. They don't have that which human beings have. Human beings, and we have been talking about the power of subconscious mind. Now, where is the power of subconscious mind? In all, what I would like to say is, your body is the best laboratory. Test it there and you will be amazed at the power you have in your body. Not your body. The universe has given you that power to heal. And anyway, we are healing ourselves. Today only I had a talk with one of my doctor friends, and I said, she's an orthopedician, and they said, ki, when you apply plaster, does the plaster heal the broken bone? She said, no, it only makes sure that the bone doesn't get connected, haywire. So that means, then I said, that means the whatever size of the fracture, it gets healed by itself. She said, yes. Then where is allopathy? What is allopathy doing? It's only assisting. Right. The healing is done by itself. So why can't a body heal diabetes? I don't know if you are running out of time, but my last question is, if a body can heal a broken bone, why cannot it heal itself in case of diabetes, blood pressure, cancer? Why? My challenge is, and who's doing this research on this? I don't know whether I could make sense or not.
Absolutely. Very valid point, Arun. Thank you very much, first of all, Arun, for your response to those questions. Whilst you had answered these questions on the channel itself, I thought maybe some other people may be having the same doubts, and that's the reason I wanted to address these questions. And hopefully, viewers, you got the answers to those questions if they were in your mind too. Okay. And if you have any further questions related to that or anything else that comes to your mind when it's related to health, please feel free to post your questions. We'll be more than happy to answer those questions in the best way that we can. Okay.
I'll just a second. I want to add one thing. I'm giving the audience, some work to do, some research to do. Kindly do this research. Number one, which are the research organizations which are doing researches which are dictating doctors to do something? So go and search the research whatever foundations are there. Then do a research who's funding those research organizations, and who's funding those organizations. Then do research what is their stake in pharmaceutical companies. You will know the whole pura circus. You will know the whole circus, that which company is funding those research, and the companies which are funding those research, what is their stake in top pharma companies. Come back with these data, then you'll know what is the research which we know, and also find out the researchers which are not claiming what they do, and where are those researchers, who's promoting those researchers. It's not that the researchers are not being done on other side, but where are those researchers published? Just do this homework, you'll know your answer.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting exercise. I'm sure probably it will be pretty revealing to most of us. I will definitely do that research and get back to you. Thanks, Arun. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever we have shared or Arun has been sharing in this series of episodes and in the earlier episodes also comes from three sources. One, scientific studies, ancient traditional practices with thousands of years of documented results, and most importantly, his personal experiences. Arun himself practices each and every action that he has been suggesting. And just for your information, and he has shared this in one of the earlier episodes too, Arun, the last 20 years, he has not taken any medication. And incidentally, he has also not taken the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. and he
No
never got vaccine.
vaccines. For that matter, no vaccines.
No vaccine. Oh,
Only
okay.
that vaccine जो childhood में लग गया था, because I couldn't say anything. So one or two
Exactly.
vaccines. Now there are hundreds of vaccines. I haven't touched any vaccine. COVID, no vaccination.
Perfect. And you can see, in fact, last episode when we recorded, he was not well in the morning. He was running fever. And I asked him, should we reschedule it? He said, no, I'll be fine. That is the level of confidence that he has on the natural healing practices that he adopts, right? Now it's your turn to decide. You can approach it with an open mind and adopt these practices and experience the transformation yourself. Or you can choose to dismiss it outright and find reasons to justify staying exactly where you are. The choice and the results are entirely yours. I will leave it to you. Before I close, as a small disclaimer I would like to share, if you are under any medical care or under any medication, please consult your doctor before making any abrupt changes to your medical regimen. We are not offering medical advice. Let me repeat, we are not offering medical advice. We are only sharing healing practices that your doctor may not have had time to share or discuss with you. Trust you found value, and if you did, do like and share with others, and consider subscribing to the channel. In the upcoming episode, Arun will be sharing some very simple practices that you can adopt to counter some of the most common ailments that we experience in our life. So don't miss that episode. Thank you very much, Arun, for joining us today. It was a pleasure, and hopefully the doctor, if he's watching this episode, his questions would have been answered. He would feel more comfortable, and others too, more comfortable listening to and practicing these healing practices. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.